Hi guys, it is Fredrina with Trinity Professional Group, and we are back for part 2 of our video where we're focused on scoping for the future. As I have been talking about nonstop, we're in Q4, we're heading into Q1, and we want to get so much better in business. I'll be coming up on my 1-year anniversary for Trinity Professional Group in December, and I have grown so much as a person, as a business owner, my insight, my development, my growth. Just I can't even begin to explain the amount of growth that I see within myself. My passion for my business, my tenacity has grown. So many things have grown while being in business, and I can't wait for the future. I'm so excited for the future. I'm ready to see what is to come. I'm ready to get the product out of me. I'm ready to get the residual. I'm ready to see the results of all of these things that I've been pouring in, all of this development that I've been waiting to put out into the world and give to my clients and help my clients grow in confidence in their business and help them strategize on their next level and next steps. I'm just so excited for Q1. And so, like we talked about on Tuesday's video, we're scoping for the future. We are ready to move forward. We're ready to, put some of this profit to work, or our savings account that we've had from doing business. We're ready to put these things to work and expand now. We're heading into expansion. We are, even if it's minimal at the beginning, if it's just adding on a new product at first, if it's just adding on one new offering at first, it doesn't matter. We're growing. We're planning for the future. We're going towards the future. And for those larger companies who also watch my videos, I also want you to think on this as a way to garner support from your C-suite, your leadership, your managers, your supervisors, however you have named those people who are your support staff for the owner. I really want you to focus on this video, because you have to develop and lean on those leaders, because they are an extension of you, right? So if you're the head, they're your arm, and then your employees are your fingers. So you want to make sure that everybody is on one accord for the most part. You want to make sure that you've made your vision and your mission so clear that when you're not there, your management, your C-suite, or whomever are carrying out that vision, and we're all on the same team. We're all moving towards the same goal. We all realize that we play a part in it, and that once we achieve that goal, it's an us thing. It's not just the company owner did that, the president wanted that, the CEO wanted that. No, this is an us thing. We all won. We all got here. So with doing that, you have to be able to reflect on your KPIs, like we talked about last video. Your KPIs are the result of the procedure you've put in place. They show you how that change in production has driven up your profit. They show you how that slowing down of the machine has saved you money by buying new belts every other day. They show you so many things that you didn't initially see when you're in the day-to-day. You don't get to see the little changes. You don't get to see the little progression. You have to wait until you're done with the day-to-day, the hustle and bustle, before you can even see the good things that you've done, right? But that's the benefit of procedures. You want to make sure that so many good things are happening that it's just a norm, as opposed to always having to put out fires. So with your upper management, these are going to be the people who let you know how your procedure is affecting your plan to scope for the future, or how it's affecting your plans for the future. They're going to let you know how to spend. They're going to let you know where to expand. They're going to let you know where to even contract if you haven't paid attention to those areas. Like, where is more money being spent, or where is more time being spent when you could be using that for something else. You could be using that to go into a new market. You could be using that energy to create another offering. You could be using that energy to put a new product in place. There are so many things that your management sees in the day-to-day that you often miss as the owner or the president. You often miss these things because you're so far up here, where you're out expanding the brand, you're out expanding the company, you're out networking, bridging gaps, and possibly even finding new suppliers or manufacturers. You're doing so many other things that the day-to-day things aren't as important in function as they are in result. right? So like the results of what's happening day to day gets your attention, but you're not there to impact it. You're not there to have any hand in exactly what's going on beyond the procedures that you've created. So with your management, you have to be open to them because they do see the day to day. You could have this huge idea for, let's say, your packaging team. You want to buy this new machine. You want this machine to do this. You want this machine to do that. Whereas your day to day managers may advise you like, hey, no, like now is not the time to do that. We should probably hold off on that for another year or so because the employees do this, because the employees do that. In order for us to do this and get the equipment on the truck, we can't have anything in this spot. Or, you know, there's so many nuances that they are attuned to because they're there for the day to day. They interact with the employees, they interact with the machinery far more than you do as the visionary, because now you're at a place that's beautiful where you're removed from the day to day. But oftentimes being removed from the day to day can affect your decisions on things that impact the day-to-day proceedings. With you being so far removed, you don't know that that machine doesn't need to get any bigger because it's a walkway. You don't know that that machine doesn't need to go in that position because the trucking goes through there and they put things on the truck on that path or whatever it is. There's so many things that you're removed from. So having your leadership there to consult you, to help you know exactly what should or shouldn't be done is crucial. But even more crucial than that, when we talk about infrastructure and your company culture, this is where that comes in, right? So many things weigh on each other, which is again why I'm so passionate about infrastructure, because it builds. Everything builds. Everything depends on each other. So in my infrastructure, when I set up my processing, when I set up my SOPs, and then I see the result of my SOPs and my KPIs, I have my leadership there to help me dissect those KPIs and see how they can make tweaks on a daily basis. Then when I come in as the CEO or owner, I now see the grand scheme of everything coming together as opposed to the nuances that are impacting those little changes. So when we go to scope for the future, when we go to try and expand for the future, while the numbers may present themselves, you need to listen to the why behind those numbers. The numbers may look great on paper, like, oh my gosh, we're putting out so many packages. It is a good idea to buy this machine. It is a good idea to put it right here. And in your mind, it makes so much sense because it's expansion. It's what you've been working on. It's what you've been networking about. But to your team, your C-suite, your leadership, to them, it doesn't make sense because they know the day-to-day, right? So if in your infrastructure, in the building of your company, you've created a company culture where people feel safe enough to voice their opinion, where people feel like they are welcome and disagreeing with you as long as they have valid reasoning as well as some numbers to back it up, right? They need to have some KPIs to back up why they don't want these things done. You need to be able to listen to them. Because the last thing you want to do is squash their creativity, squash the work that they're putting in the day-to-day by helping you become who you are. You're squashing all of these things by saying, I hear you, but this is what I want done. It's okay to be a visionary and have these things, right? But you have to consider their input because that input then impacts the amount of money that you're putting in there. So when it affects everyone, listening to your C-suite and having them comfortable enough to come to you with a disagreement is going to be your biggest ticket. Because when you scope for the future, you're still not going to be there to carry out this expansion, right? You're just going to make the decision, sign the check, and then they have to put all this stuff in place, right? You'll come back to check on it here and there and make sure that, it's kind of looking like you wanted it to when you decided to do it. But your management, your leadership are the people there day to day to make sure that these things are going out and carried out as planned. So when you listen to them and their constructive criticism, really take that in. Don't just go by the numbers and what's generated. Go by what they're saying, the why behind those numbers, why they look that way, why the employees aren't doing this thing, why the employees do things a certain way, why they are the way they are. Listen to that when scoping for the future, because if it's like this at a 5, imagine when you try to put it to a 15 and you have so many more customers depending on you, so many new manufacturers and suppliers, you have so many other things depending on you. It's a huge deal then, and you're going to put that pressure back on your team thinking that it's their fault when really it's yours because you didn't listen before you expanded, right? So again, Fredrina with Trinity Professional Group, you guys, infrastructure, my videos, all of them build on each other. We're helping you become a successful and confident business owner with helping you strategize. And as always, you can find me at trinityprofessionalgroup.com. My social media, Freddie the Trinity Pro. I'm still accepting new clients. I would love to work with you before Q1. Always find a way to get in contact with me. Bye, guys.